I'm Lauren from Animal Workshops, and what I'm going to be doing is some online presentations for you to show you our animals to get us through this self-isolation. Now today what we're going to be talking about is classification. So who knows what classification means? It is when scientists group animals to be able to tell the difference between them. So what we're going to be talking about today are vertebrate animals, because what we have to do first is split animals into the vertebrate animals and invertebrate animals. So who knows what that means? So invertebrate animals are animals without a backbone. So those creepy crawlies, okay? But a vertebrate animal is like us. They've got a backbone. So there's 5 groups of those animals. We've got mammals, reptiles, amphibians, birds and fish. And I'm going to show you how we can tell the difference between them. So this is Jim, one of our prairie dogs. Now prairie dogs, they come from North America and they get their name because of where they come from, okay? So the prairies in North America are the fields and meadows, and that is where you'd find these guys living. And the dog part to his name, well, I think you can guess he's not actually a type of dog. He gets that name because of the noises that they make. They actually bark to one another, so people think that they sound like dogs. So we can put it together, the prairie dog, and that is why they're called that. Now they're actually from the rodent family, and you might be able to see from his face that he looks a little bit like a squirrel. So they are related to the squirrels. Now he is a fluffy animal, so he's got this fur all over his body, and that is one way that we can tell that an animal is a mammal, if they've got hair or fur on their body. So being a warm-blooded animal means that you do not have to think about keeping yourself warm. Okay, your body does it for you. It's a bit like us. We are mammals, just like Jim here. So our body keeps ourselves nice and warm, but other animals, such as snakes and lizards and frogs, they can't do that. They are known as cold-blooded animals. Now also, mammals will give birth to their own babies, and they'll feed their babies with the milk that their body produces. So that is how we can tell an animal is a mammal. Fur or hair on their body, they're warm-blooded, and most of them give birth to their babies. This is Timmy, our black and white Argentinian tegu. As their name suggests, you would find these guys living in the rainforests of South America, particularly around Argentina, and they are a huge lizard. Now he's an omnivore. Now omnivores eat a little bit of everything. Now his favourites are live bugs, he'll eat meat, he'll eat fruits and vegetables, so literally everything. Now he is a reptile. The way we can tell an animal is a reptile is by looking at their skin. He has got this dry, scaly skin. People often think that other types of reptiles, like snakes, they're wet and slimy. They're not. If they're a reptile, they have dry, scaly skin, just like Timmy here. And they are cold-blooded. That means they cannot keep themselves warm like a mammal. They need to bask in the sun, so that basically means sunbathe. They need to soak up all of the warmth from the sun, and that gives them energy to then move about, find their food. Most reptiles will also lay eggs. So the way that we tell an animal is a reptile is that they are cold-blooded. They have got this dry, scaly skin, and most of them lay eggs. This is Mel, and she is a white tree frog. So an Australian tree frog, and her name kind of suggests where she would live. So she lives up in the trees of the Australian rainforest. And you can see, she is pretty amazing to live in the trees. She's the same colour as the leaves. So that means she can camouflage. She can hide in amongst the leaves and hide herself away from any predators. So those animals that might want to eat her. Now, she is a great example of an amphibian. Now, we can tell that she is an amphibian by looking at her skin. So amphibians have this moist, smooth skin. They are cold-blooded. So just like our reptiles, these guys need the warmth to warm their bodies and give them energy. They will also lay their eggs in and around the water, but their eggs are very different to a reptile's eggs. So you've probably heard of frog spawn. That is a frog's eggs. Okay, so they are these jelly-like eggs that, as I say, are laid in the water or around the water. And amphibians go through what is called a complete metamorphosis. Now the word metamorphosis means complete change. When they hatch out of their egg, they're a tadpole. and they look completely different to their adult state. I knew she was going to do it. So sorry about that. Now, we were talking about frogs going through a complete metamorphosis. So when she hatches out of her egg, she's a tadpole. She looks completely different to her adult self. So that means she's gone through a complete change as she grows up. Now, mammals, they don't do that. If you imagine a human when they're born, little baby, they are miniature versions of their parents. So completely different to our amphibians going through their complete change. So to recap, we tell an amphibian by their skin. It's got smooth, wet skin. They are cold-blooded and they lay eggs. So this is James, our Serama cockerel. Now these guys are one of the smallest chickens in the world, and the girls, they lay teeny tiny little eggs. You probably need about 3 of them to make up the normal size egg. Now we can tell he is a bird because he's got feathers on his body. You can see that he's got these lovely wings here, and he's also got a beak. So those are the telltale signs that an animal is a bird. He's also warm-blooded. And how do birds have their babies? They lay eggs. Now these guys, their eggs are not going to be the same as an amphibian or a reptile. Birds' eggs have got this hard shell to protect them. So what we're looking for in a bird is feathers on their body. They've got a beak. They've got wings. They can't always fly though. They're warm-blooded and they lay eggs. Now, unfortunately, we haven't got a fish to show you, but I will explain. Okay, so fish, they are scaly skinned animals, but not like our reptiles. So the reptiles, they've got that dry scaly skin, but fish, they're wet, oily, scaly animals. They're cold-blooded, so like our amphibians and reptiles, they need warmth to heat their body up, give them energy. And also, fish, most of them, they lay eggs. Okay, they've also got gills to be able to breathe underneath the water. They haven't got lungs like us, so they can't breathe oxygen from the air. They also have fins to be able to help them manoeuvre in the water. So to recap, we've met mammals. They are animals that have hair or fur on their body. They're warm-blooded, and most of them give birth to their babies and feed their babies with the milk that their body produces. Then we've got reptiles. Reptiles are dry, scaly-skinned animals with cold blood, and most of them lay eggs. Amphibians are those animals that go through a complete metamorphosis, so a complete change. They've got smooth, wet skin, cold blood, and they lay their eggs in or around the water. Then we've got birds. Birds have got feathers on their body. They're warm-blooded and they lay eggs with hard shells. Fish, they have got this wet, scaly skin. They're cold-blooded. They lay eggs. They've got gills to allow them to breathe under the water. Well, I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. We're going to be doing a lot more videos, so if there is a specific topic that you would like covering, please do let me know in the comments. Okay, and give us a like and a share. Also, we are raising money for our animal care fund. Unfortunately, at the moment, we're not able to go out and show our animals to people, so our sole source of our income is completely gone. So whatever you can give, even just £1, would really, really help us look after our animals, and the link you can find for that below. Okay, see you soon.